Video, I'm going to show you guys all about elements that we currently support. So for this, let's actually start a new page and start from an empty page. Okay, so you see our header, our footer here still. Of course, we did change some fonts and that sort of thing up. Now, let's start at the top. Inside of every single block, you're going to be able to add as many things as you'd like. In every block, you have columns. In every column, in every block, you have columns. These are split up by multiple columns if you'd like to split it that way. Now, that being said, inside of every column, you can have individual elements. So for this case, let's just break this into 5 columns and test around with it. Headings are what, oops. Headings are going to be what primarily, let me put a new container in there, show you. Okay, so headings are going to be primarily what your SEO is based off of and how you deal with the overall styling of your website. That being said, you can come in and select from which H tag you would like to use, which is going to reflect inside of your text styling like I showed you in the last video. So, that being said, the next element is text. This is going to be for your paragraphs and everything of that nature. There are not a ton of options here other than just editing the text. Of course, you can put animations or anything of that nature in. Keep in mind, we do have this fancy copy button. It will bring up this little icon here, and you can see a list of everything you've copied. So you could copy as many things as you'd like and drag them anywhere when you're creating your websites. The next one we have is a button. Buttons are pretty cool. So, A, you can click the hyperlink on click and the button text. B, you can select the hyperlink if you'd like to do it there, or the overall global styling. That being said, everything from colors to the border color if you currently have a border, the border radius if you'd like it rounded, the border size, the padding size, and if you'd like it to be full width. When you click full width, it expands it to the whole length of that current column. You can also select the animations. So if you'd like it to pop when you hover, grow when you hover, fade in when you hover, and etc. The next thing is text styling. So this is going to be the text color, the font you're using on your button, the font size, and then shadows. So if you'd like outer shadows, inner shadows, etc. So if you see, we will throw in like per se a green shadow. You can now see the green shadow around that. Of course, this looks absolutely hideous, but we will go ahead and delete it. The next one is a container. A container is a block. So this right here would be a container. This is a form. Forms are going to be where you collect information in order to have website visitors' contact info come to you. Now, that can be adjusted right here with the form length. Now, if you'd like to center the form, all you have to do is go to Alignment Settings and Center. You can edit the fields and add as many fields in as you'd like. Everything from your Google CAPTCHA to files, if you'd like a file downloaded when it's submitted, etc. Inside of each one of these fields, you can also customize whether it's required, if it has a prefix icon, and etc. I would recommend playing around with some of the form settings because they are abundant. The next thing we have are form settings. This is going to be where form notifications are being sent to. So let's say you want it sent one form to go to one email and another form to go to a different email. You can do that as well. The button text on the form, you can change that if you'd like, as well as whether it shows a thank you message or it goes to a page. We usually recommend going to a page just for marketing aspects, but that is your choice in the end of the day. The next option we have is styling. So you can edit the styling of the button just like we did in buttons earlier, or you can edit what the fields look like. So whether you want them rounded, flat-cornered, certain colors, the text, etc. The next widget we have is icon selection. So let's go ahead and delete our form. Throw an icon in here. So icons are pretty cool. Inside of icons, you have your left-hand icon, which can be changed to whatever icon you would like. We have a whole list of them here, and you can select them by the filter. You can filter them if you'd like. So if you need an envelope, you can select an envelope right here. You can change the form title, or you can change the description. Now maybe you don't want a description. All you have to do is come in here to styling, and you can actually remove the description. You can change the colors of the icon, the background color, or whatever else you would like to do. Now, another cool feature we have is going to be the different layouts possible. So, in some occasions, you would like to have an entire layout like this, or like that, or smaller like that. That is fully up to you. In other occasions, you may like something more with it tightened up, or sometimes with the icon to the left. It's fully up to you guys. Play around with it and see what you like. The next widget we're going to go over is going to be a normal icon. This is going to be like if you see at the top of the sites. This is going to be like if you see at the top of the sites, something such as our social media icons. That is actually a different widget, but all of those are supported. So if you come in here, you can edit icon. Let's say YouTube. We have YouTube icons here as well. Facebook, all your main social media platforms, as well as many other icons that you can use. These are your alignment settings for where it sits. And then animations, so however you want it to pop in when the screen loads. You can go ahead and delete this. We'll go on to the next widget. Next widget is a normal image. So for this example, we're going to use a Spark Builder logo. You're going to see a few things here. You're going to have your alt text for your image description, the shadow if you have a shadow, here you can hyperlink it, and then you can also select the alignment or animation. The next one we have is a menu. Menus are pretty cool. So all you have to do is go to Add Menu Item, and you can actually have it go wherever you want onto one of these pages or a different page group. You can have it open in the same or a new tab. You can have it linked to individual store products if you have them, an external link, an anchor point if you created one, a file. When you use a file, if the button is clicked, it will actually download it. You can have it enable a pop-up, you can have it email somebody, or you can have it initiate a phone call. Next widget we're going to play with is going to be a separator. These are fairly simple. This is just going to be a small dash or a full width dash that is able to separate areas on your website. Next one is a spacer. Spacers are personally one of my favorite. So as you saw earlier, I added that container in because you were seeing a lot of overlap with this footer right over the top of the heading. Of course, when the site is live, you will not see that. But for the demonstration purposes, it's kind of irritating. But if I throw a spacer in, you actually space things as much as you'd like, left, right, and etc. These columns can be adjusted with this little blue bar here, and here are your margins. Next one we're going to play with is a gallery. Galleries are going to be multiple images that you can select whether they're scrolling through so customers can scroll through themselves, or grids, carousels, and etc. I'd recommend playing with some of these. There are a lot of cool features inside of our gallery. If you need help, keep in mind you can always refer over to the help section. These do have their own individual videos as well. The next widget we're going to play with is a slider. Sliders are one of my personal favorites, as you can portray a lot of information on a website really quickly with this for a first-time visitor. Now, all you have to do is click plus, and you're going to add in one slide. One slide can either have an image background or a solid color background, and you can add layers as well. This can be a text layer, a video layer, an image layer, and etc. So if I'm adding a text layer, all you have to do is type in content, and you can have it animate in. Or you can turn the animation to 0, and it'll just instantly be there. At this point, you can actually drag it wherever you want inside of this slider, and it will portray on the website. So you can't currently see that text, but if you preview your website, as you saw, it faded in just like I told it to. You can do that with images, pictures, and etc. The next one we're going to play with is social media. Social media is the icons that I showed you up top. There are two ways to do this. Either A, you can have it share a post on any of the few major networks, or you can have it go to specific pages. Now, this does not have to actually be social media exactly. You can actually use any of these icons. So say I wanted to open like iTunes Music, even though there's no URL, I could put iTunes.com or Spotify, and etc. When that button's clicked, it will open up that website. The next one we're going to play with is audio. Audio usually pertains to songs, but it can also be like podcasts or anything of that nature. You do have to upload audio files, so just come in here and upload a file, select your file, and find out what you want to use. Go ahead and name it, the artist name, so that could even be the podcast producer, and then the theme, whether it be light or dark, and then whether auto plays on the load. The next one we have is video. These are fairly simple and fairly similar to the audio. All you have to do is input the embed code from, say, YouTube. Make sure you follow the directions here. It is pretty easy. You can also select custom thumbnails if you would like. Our next one is checkout. So if you actually are selling products on your store or running a service-based business, you're going to be able to add your products and then come in here and use this little checkout page. That being said, it's pretty much one step, two step. You get a check. You get to select it, whether you're doing it from product select or cart action, which products you would like to use. As you see, there is nothing currently in my store. We do have an entire store section in our help section. Just go ahead and check that out, and it will teach you how to do this. We have bump offers as well, so you can actually, when they go to checkout, it will send them a little bump offer for an upsell or downsell. Of course, you can do all of your styling, so it's one-step, two-step checkouts, however you'd like to do it. As you see here, one step, you see everything right here. All they have to do is click one button after they input their information, and they're good to go. Settings, you can add a thank you page, you can allow discounts, customer registrations, please follow the directions there, company information, the phone number, second line for address, additional information, etc., etc. Next one is a store. The store actually shows your overall products. So as you see, we don't have any products currently added, but as I said, we do have an entire store section teaching you how to do this, and you can refer to that. Keep in mind, we do have these settings here in this little bar, and you can either do grids, carousels, or whatever other options you'd like. Our next one's blog. So the blog here will actually show all your posts, And you can show whether it's the most popular, the most recent, popular tags, which categories you're using, post and image description, as you see there, or the number of items to display. So make sure you pick exactly what you'd like and get it all set up. It is a pretty easy process. If you need help, keep in mind we have an entire blog section as well. All you have to do is click our help button and find the correct area. The next one is custom code. This is going to be for all of our coding people out there. You're going to be able to input whatever you'd like, and you can actually come into settings, and we support a few different things: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SQL, XML, and then plain text, whether it's dark or light. You can execute the code instantly, or if you choose not to, it will just show the code box. Go ahead and delete that. Next option we have is going to be countdown timers. This is one of my personal favorites as I love e-commerce. So you can have it count time, count to a number, have it count to a certain date, and etc. When the counter ends, you can either go to a pop-up page or show a certain message. This is really cool if you're doing e-commerce, because I like to set like 3-minute timers and then have it go to a certain page or pop-up, and I'll have it pop up saying, this is the last chance to get the item, don't miss this special. It's very effective when doing e-commerce, so play around with the countdown, and you'll see a lot of features in there you do like. This is embedding, so if you're embedding a, let's say a Calendly calendar, or a video, whatever you'd like to embed, you can actually just send it up in here, and it's going to be very easy, very quick, and embed whatever you told it to. Our next one is a map. So all you have to do is have your address, then you see a roadmap or a satellite. You get to pick the style and layout of it. You can also check how far it zooms out. Now, one of the coolest things about this map is, if you keep in mind, we did use personalization tags on this, so we can put address, city, state, and this should redirect to whatever we had the city and state marked at in this website. My mistake. City, state. Now it should, 123 Main Street in Kansas City, Missouri is what it should have popped up. If we go preview the site, oh, I forgot to save my changes. If we go preview the site now, you're actually going to see 123 Main Street in Kansas City, Missouri. And that actually populated by using address, city, and state as my personalization tags inside of my personalization settings. Most of our widget settings allow you to use full customization using those personalization tags. On to the next widget. We have a payment form. So you can add whatever you'd like into here. And then when you come in to view this, it does show invalid payment form settings. All you have to do is settings, choose your gateway. So if you want to do Stripe, the name of it, the notification, the publisher key, the private key. These are going to be your API settings on Stripe. The amount to bill. And then you can also choose whether you'd like the visitor to choose the amount that's going to be charged. So that's just one of the cool features. This is amazing for small local businesses. What you can do is just connect your Stripe. Stripe has a 2.9% processing fee, which is much lower than a lot of its competitors. And you can have it enter the amount to pay. So now small businesses can actually go in and take payments directly from their website. And it's incredibly easy, quick, and a great alternative to paying 4 to 5% like some payment processors. Your next option is portfolio. This is going to be if you have portfolio items, so whether it be a video course, text course, etc. You can create one and etc. So in here you can see all the courses and etc. that we've actually created just as placements. Come back to the builder, so back to our page. Forgot to save last time. Let's go ahead and add the portfolio. Add an item. So let's select the portfolios. These could be websites you've designed. These could be statistics for marketing if you're a marketing company, and etc. Let's take a look at this. Now you can actually see and scroll through the portfolio of the customer, or the portfolio you have on your website. Information, if you guys included any information on your portfolio. Go ahead and delete that and go on to the next one. Please keep in mind, you actually do have a bunch of settings here you can play with as well. So you can actually set this as a scroll to grid instead of a carousel. You can set the amount of items per row, the padding between the items if you don't like the pictures touching, and etc. We'll delete this and go on to the next. Our next one is a search bar. The search bar, you can actually select whether it's going to use in just certain pages, only in the store, or only in the blog. And when you select this, it will actually be able to search your full site or however you'd like. In here, you can select the border size if you'd like it rounded or flat. Have it hide the search icon if you'd like. That actually displays on the right-hand side. The padding, the border radius, the font size, and many other options if you want to play with them. That being said, that is all of our elements. If you have any questions or need help when you're designing, if it's something we can help you with that you don't find in the help options, just come over here to the live chat, select, log into Messenger, and shoot us a message. We'll be able to help you out fairly quickly. Otherwise, go to our website and fill out our contact us form.